Hello, and welcome to After Dark Talk Radio. I am your host, Christine Renee. If you don't know me or if you haven't met me, that is me. I am the owner of After Dark Intuition, the art of confidence and empowerment. And yeah, that's me. I am a if you don't know anything about me at all, I'm a 2 times international best-selling author. I am a intuitive confidence and empowerment coach, and I also love to do my crystals. I'm a crystal healer, a Reiki healer, Reiki master teacher, etc. All of the things. But I love to come live every Wednesday here for After Dark Talk Radio. And this week we are going to talk all about dead weight and things that we are just basically holding on to and that is keeping us stuck continuously. So let's get into that. So I want to talk about what I've been doing lately because this subject matter is very near and dear to my heart because number one, way back, you know, I realized that I am an emotional eater. And I realized that I really held on to the weight and the pounds and all of that as a protection mechanism. So I really feel that when we are holding on to things, when we're holding on to that dead weight, when we're holding on to everything, and we'll go over a couple of different things that we are trying to keep ourselves protected, right? We are trying to keep ourselves from being vulnerable. We're trying to keep ourselves from being put out there, right? We're trying to keep ourselves very, very, very protected. And we think that if we keep these things on, whether we keep the weight on, whether we keep the emotions hidden in utilizing the weight with the emotions and keep that all hidden because we feel as though we are protecting ourselves and we're actually not. What we're doing is we're creating this entire cycle that is not helping us in any way, shape, or form, right? I didn't realize that I was an emotional eater until until I had an investigation that I was doing. And during this investigation, immediately I went for some peanut butter, peanut M&Ms, and I bought a big bag, family size, and I ate the whole thing. And I was like, all right, obviously I am an emotional eater. And I never, ever, ever really realized this. But I did realize shortly thereafter that I held on to my weight as a protection mechanism. So this week I took several measures on deleting people out of this group that are not active, and I still have a lot more work to do. I don't care if I'm down to 5 people in this group. It doesn't matter to me. I really, really want to get the dead weight out, and this is part of my process. So in addition to the removing the people from the group, hey Tina, divine timing to catch this live. Yes, thank you for coming on. The removing these people from the group because maybe it's not aligned with them or maybe they're not even seeing anymore, because you know how Facebook's a little bit crazy. So I have taken it upon myself. I had 300 and some odd people in the group to begin with, and now I'm down to like 186 because I've taken my time. I'm looking at every single person within the group, and I am looking if they're even somebody I want to keep in the group. But if there's been no interactions, I'm like, nope, you're gone. And especially if they didn't agree to the rules of the group, then I'm definitely like, well, I don't know why you're here. So that is part of what I am doing to really remove that dead weight, because again, when we talk about protection mechanisms, that's exactly what this is, right? So if here's my group and it's a business, right? It's not just a place where everybody's hanging out. Like, I am trying to have a livelihood here and sell things, but if I'm talking to nobody, then it's absolutely pointless. So the whole idea of that is out with the old, because that is going to allow space for the new. So in addition to doing stuff like that, I've also been, really working hard with the things inside my life as well, because we all know that when you start getting that whole cluttered feeling, whether it's in your mind or whether it's in your space, that we also again have that tendency to use that as a protection mechanism, right? We're like allowing these things to be there so that they're protecting us in some small fashion, right? It's giving us a level of energetic protection, right? And it was the same thing with the weight. It's allowing that lack of vulnerability, right? Because I can say, you know what, oh no, I'm protected. I'm fine. I don't need to deal with anything. Or yeah, nope, my whole space is, filled with all the things that I love and I don't need to move them. I don't need to do anything because I'm used to the things that are in my space. I'm used to what they are, the presence that they're taking up, and I like them being there and I like the way they look. But we all know that things begin to have that stagnant negative energy sometimes. So when our space starts to become a little bit cluttered, or like things end up getting stuck in like a corner, or they get stuck on the kitchen table, or they get stuck in on the island in the kitchen. This is where all of my things get stuck. So these are things we just have to continuously like move them along, shred the papers, throw the things away. If you don't like it, get it out, right? I was in getting ready earlier today, and I was, just happened to be looking in my makeup thing, and up in my makeup next to like my vitamins was a candle. And this candle, I don't even like the brand. Like it just smells. I don't like the smell. So I was like, why do I even have this? And I didn't even know what it was to begin with. I pulled it down. I was like, oh, it's a candle. I'm like, well, why is a candle here? Number one. And number two, I don't like the scent of these things. So chucked it right in the trash. So this is the point, and we're coming upon a new moon here very shortly, aren't we? Here, let me look. I know, I believe I saw that. I'm so not good with the new moons and all the phases and stuff. Yep. So in 3 days. So the 18th will be the full new moon, not a full moon, the new moon. But that was when it will be in its full state, is the 18th. So we're definitely coming upon that energy where it's time to cleanse, it's time to clean everything out. And I have been really, really, really feeling it. So my whole thought process around not carrying this dead weight is really to allow for us to be vulnerable again, because it takes us being vulnerable and it takes us actually looking at the things that we want to discuss, that we want to change, that we want to, make different in our life. It actually requires some of this vulnerability. It requires the change. It requires us to actually move and actually make some changes, right? We need to actually look at what we're looking at. If we go through life like we daily do, and we've got all these distractions, we've got the phones, we've got the laundry, we've got the kids. If we're just going day to day through life, we've got our deadlines for everything. Excuse me, we're going to miss half the things that we really, excuse me, we're going to miss the things that we actually need to make changes on. And this is why, if we don't remove the dead weight, we can end up just skating and missing it all, anyways, right? We go through life missing the details. And it is so, so, so important that we actually allow all of that dead weight, all of this dead energy, the stagnant energy, the stuff that is keeping us stuck. We need to allow it to move on. And there's a couple of different ways to go about allowing this move energy to move on, right? We have to, number one, recognize what it is. If we don't recognize what it is that we would like to move on, then we're going to either be looking at the wrong thing, or or we're just going to stay in the same spot, right? So what I have been doing and what I recommend doing is really sitting with yourself and taking a moment to consider, what is it that needs to be moved along? What is it that can be tumbled up, right? Like churned up at the bottom of the ocean, right? Where the waves come and they turn up all that sand. What can we turn up and kind of shake loose some of the things that are stagnant, and all of those, that dead weight that can be moved along? this is what I was contemplating when I came up with the thought that I need to re-energize my group and I need to get all the dead weight out and allow new people to come in because the energy is different, right? There's no energy in there and I'm putting out good stuff. I am, I'm entertaining. I think I'm entertaining. And you know what I'm saying? And I just had a beautiful free masterclass, which actually is now a paid masterclass, which we'll talk about. It's me first because I'm important too. And we'll also talk about my 2-hour intensive rebrand because this is, again, just that new energy that needs to come in and take out the old and bring in the new, right? We need to carve out that space. So I have been really sitting with myself and really considering what needs to change, what needs to move, what needs to be different. So when you're considering in your life, right? I like to talk about all of these transitions because we really do have a lot of transitions that happen in our life that we are realizing that something needs to change, right? That we kind of lose ourselves and go back to not trying, not caring, not not being there for ourselves, not being our true self, right? So we have a tendency to move from, and this is when, right, we've got all of the protection mechanisms up. We've got that dead weight, right? We've got the emotions, the wall we've put up, right? And we start letting ourselves change, letting ourselves go back to, I'll give you another example. Letting ourselves go back to sweats and t-shirts, right? Like I am legit wearing a t-shirt right now, but this is not what I mean. What I mean is we used to be this hot, sexy mama, and then all of a sudden we had 3 kids, and now we're like running around when our hair's in like a messy bun, which I think messy buns are sexy, by the way. So don't, um, no knock on a messy bun, but we got the messy bun, no makeup. We're wearing a shirt that's got like freaking spit up on the chest, and one boob, and we've got, our sweats on. And I'm not saying that sweats and t-shirts are comfortable because I'm legitimately half the time in my sweats and a t-shirt, especially when I'm going live with you guys. But my point is we lose ourselves, right? We lose ourselves and we let that then be our wall, our protection that is keeping us from actually moving, right? Keeping us from moving. It's keeping us safe, right? We have to move out of the safety zone. We are in that safety zone when we're there. We're allowing that to be our protection mechanism. It's the same when we are putting up that wall, when we are going back out into the world after we've been married forever and now we're divorced and now we're single and we want to go out there and we want to, meet new people, and we are putting up the wall, right? And that wall is, again, that safety mechanism, that thing that is keeping us safe and not allowing the new to come in, right? So, part of removing the dead weight and removing all of these stagnant energy and these things that are keeping us stuck is removing the walls, removing the stained t-shirt, getting that hair out of the ponytail and coming back to your true self. Right now, if you don't wear makeup and you wear your hair in a ponytail and you like to wear sweats and t-shirts and that is your true self, beautiful, beautiful. But you all know what I'm talking about, that there's some point in time where you have either put up a wall, where you have forgot who you are, where you've transitioned from one thing to the next, like I was talking about transitioning. Oh, I think I just talked about this in another group about transitioning from being into your 40s, right? Like I transitioned from a long time ago into my 40s, and that was like a big milestone for me. And I majorly, right before I turned 40, I was like, oh my God, I need to get my shit together. Like I'm turning 40. Like I need to, like, what am I doing? Right. I had to remove all of my walls and be like, okay, come back to self. Get my hair in order, get my nails in order, get my body in order, right? Do this, do that, dress the clothes or wear the clothes that I want to wear, right? And it's about to happen again. I'm going to be 50 in November. So, I start thinking anytime I have a milestone, anytime I have a transition, anytime I have these new things that are coming up, right? I talked recently actually, I'll talk about that in a second, but I talked recently about being single and then married and, all of that. And that was a huge transition for me. And each time when I go into these transitions, like now going to be 50, I'm like, oh my God, do I have my shit together? Like, am I happy with myself? And actually, I am very happy with myself right now, but I've learned how to, over the past 10 years, really maintain that confidence, maintain that stagnant energy, keeping it away from me, right? Breaking it up every time that it comes in, taking that same dead weight like I'm talking about and moving it along, right? Getting it out of the way, getting everything broken up and sent out into the universe so that I can actually be confident and be who I want to be. And so many different times in my life have I really, really, really come to this. And this is what I will talk about now is that when I was married, got divorced, then I was single, then I got married again, like within a year, like year time frame. Like it was a very small time frame, I feel like. And then I all of a sudden had 2 stepsons, and I was like, "Oh my god, now I'm a mother." I'm like, "How am I gonna deal with all of this?" Right? And we get so busy with life, and we get so busy with all of these transitions. So here I'm transitioning from married to single, single to married, married with kids, and I'm like, "Oh my god, like, how do I even do this?" And you end up finding yourself in that rut, right? You find yourself in that area where I'm not wearing the cute clothes that I wanna wear, started to gain weight, didn't have my hair the way that I liked it, right? I really like to have my hair long, and for some reason, every 10 years, I cut my hair. FYI, I will never, ever, ever, ever cut my hair ever again, just so you all know. Granted, I did just cut 4 inches off of it, and it looks very nice and very healthy, by the way. Just an FYI. And it's that removal of that stagnant energy and that dead weight. And so every 10 years, that seems to be my cycle, right? That cycle of when I would actually transition and change everything over. So I would take the hair, for example, chop it all off. So I don't I like my hair short, but I love my hair long. So every single time I cut it, I was taking off the dead weight legitimately, right? Legitimately with my hair, taking off the dead weight, and it wasn't necessarily, you know, um, a huge transition, but we all do this as women. We all take something, or men, right? We take something and we're like, I'm going to make this really big change. And then we make that change and then we feel a little bit better about ourselves. And this is where this confidence comes into play, right? Is every time we move that dead weight along, every time we churn it up and get things moving again, we are able to actually see what it is that we want to move forward with, the changes that we want to make in our life. And we're able to see that, yeah, you know what? I can dress the way I want. You know what? I am going to wear this cute little t-shirt today. And you know what? I really love wearing makeup. I'm going to go back to wearing makeup. You know what? I love getting my nails done. I want my nails to be super long and I don't care what type of job I have. As long as I can do my job with them, then I'm fine. Right? We have to remember who we are. We have to remember how amazing we are and that we can get rid of that dead weight. There is no use in hanging on to any of the old ideas, the old beliefs. There's no use in hanging on to the old relationships. That's a big one. That's a really, really, really big one. Sometimes we find ourselves in these relationships that are very stagnant and are not going anywhere. And that can, depending on what you want to do with that relationship, that can be a problem, right? Is it your marriage and it's something that you want to keep and you want to maintain? Well, then you need to work on it, right? But if it's something that's just hanging out and like you've already decided that you are getting rid of the relationship and you want out, you got to cut ties and run. You just got to figure out how to do it, right? Because it's important for us to grow and stay true to ourselves. And when we have this stagnant energy tagging along and this dead weight just tagging along, all it is doing is holding us back and keeping us from going where we want to go, right? We have to cut ties and we have to go. We have to allow the changes to happen in our life. We have to be happy with ourselves, right? You're not going to be happy if you continuously have this thing that's holding you back and weighing you down. It's like tying a freaking cement block onto our foot and, jumping into the water and then expecting ourselves to be able to swim, which legitimately dead weight, like legitimately dead weight. Like we can't do it. It's very hard for us to actually move and continuously continue to move, right? And continue to be healthy in our lives and our own ideas and our ideals and the way that we want to be, right? I love being happy and I love being confident. I love the way I look when I look in the mirror. I love how I feel about myself. I love how I feel about my body. I have taken the steps though to actually make some changes, right? Like I'm telling you, I have lost myself a million and 10 times over my almost 50 years here on this planet. And each time I had to come back to center, each time I had to cut some of that dead weight, and each time I had to remove some of that stagnant energy and just churn it all up again, right? Remember who I was, what I stood for on this planet, what I stood for myself, what I'm standing for now for my family, for my children, what I stand for you guys, right? I stand for that confidence and I stand for helping you guys and moving you along and assisting you and making you feel beautiful about yourself, making you feel great, helping you cut out some of that dead weight if you so choose, right? We don't need it. We don't need the baloney. We don't need the people at work that are, nasty and, bullies, and we just don't need it. That's the dead weight. That's the negative energy. Even some of the limiting beliefs that we have, that's negative. That's stagnant. That's dead weight that we need to get rid of. I really, in my Me First Because I'm Important to masterclass, which by the way is now on sale, $333. It is lifetime access. It was seriously the most amazing masterclass that I have ever given. Like, it was fire. And that is the very first thing we talk about is these limiting beliefs. And they just hold you back. Like, it's our own mind, it's our own brain, it's in there and it's difficult to get it out, but you can do it. You can do it. It is just another one of those things that is, oh my God, I watched this, but so much going on at home, dinner, etc. Watch it on the replay, girl. But and I can't tell who you are because you haven't allowed StreamYard access, but I'll look it up on the on Facebook later. But thank you for responding and watch later. Um, so yeah, the masterclass was just amazing. Like seriously, like I've never been prouder of something. So you'll have to, if you are interested in that, DM me, whatever, 333 lifetime access, fire. And also the limiting beliefs are just those things that are just keeping us just so stuck, in addition to the other things that we think should be happening within our life, right? We like I was just saying, are these different transitions that we're going to, we have these different beliefs for ourselves that we think we need to do. Like, I think that at age 50 I need to be a certain way, right? But I don't, right? I could be whatever way I want, right? I could do whatever it is that I want because it's me. I'm me and I get to do whatever I want, right? I raise my family my own way. I, have a relationship with my husband my own way. I run my group my own way. Like I said, I'm chopping things and taking names, right? Everybody out unless you're making comments and having fun with me. Oh, goodness. So, while since we're talking about all of this stagnant energy and all of this absolutely things that are holding us back, let's go ahead and do a really quick energy clearing. It's 8:55 now. So I want you to take a minute and if you are available to do this right now, if not, just watch it on the replay. Let's do a energy clearing. I just want to move some of that energy around. So sit where you are, and I want you to just take a deep breath in. And here's, one of the things when we talk about the stagnant energy and these limiting beliefs and this dead weight is that it's legitimately weighing us down, weighing our thoughts, weighing our body, weighing our mind. So when you take this deep breath in, I want you to feel as though you were very light and very airy, because I do not want these things to hold us down. So go ahead and take a deep breath in. And release. And I want you to listen to my words. And I want you to allow my words to permeate into your system and break apart the things that are holding us hostage. So I will no longer allow myself to be held down by negative thoughts. I refuse to carry around the stagnant energy that has been holding me back. I refuse to allow the words that have been said by my parents to keep me from doing the things that I truly desire, specifically my father. I refuse to allow the negative energy from those that I work with to permeate my existence when I am in their presence. I repel all negative energies. I refuse to let the nasty things that my partner tells me to make me feel bad about myself. I am tired of being stuck. I'm tired of being stuck in the same place where nobody understands. Nobody understands what I'm trying to do. I understand. That's all that matters. But I am tired of being stuck and underneath people's thumbs. I wish to remove myself from underneath their thumb and help them understand that I am my own person. I desire to be free. I can feel the new energy washing over me completely and allowing all of the dead cells, the dead energy, the dead weight to just flush away and escape from my body, escape from my mind, escape from my soul. These things will no longer hold me back. These things will no longer be in my eyesight, in my mind. They will no longer take up space in my brain. They will no longer steal energy from myself. I no longer allow this. I refuse from this point forward to allow any energy to be stolen from myself for negative thoughts, for negative people, for people that are holding me back, For those that want to keep me small so that they can feel big, I refuse. All right, I want you to go ahead and take a deep breath in and a huge breath out. All right. That felt good. And everything that I was saying was just things that kept popping into my brain, which means it's either in your energy or someone's energy that's going to watch this later. So hopefully that will resonate with you in some way, same fashion, because we all have people that hold us back in some way, or we feel it's ourselves or it's other people. It's, the people we work with, the bullies, people that just don't want the best for us, but we can do this. We have got this 100%. You are so welcome, Tina. I appreciate you all staying on for tonight's talk. But really quick, before anybody goes, that's pretty much our topic for the evening. But I do want to talk about the two things that I have going on right now, which is the Me First, because I am important too masterclass. That is lifetime access now. Is $333. DM me if you're interested. We go over the limiting beliefs. We build our personal power phrase. We went over permission and talking about, allowing that permission, allowing ourselves to give our own permission and stop requiring permission for others, because there is no way that we are going to get where we want to go if we're relying on others. We have to give ourselves that permission. And then the last thing is all about our confidence and how we actually deal with that and how we gain it when we truly want to be who we want to be. So that is the Me First, because I'm important too, 333 lifetime access. And then I also have, which is amazing, is a 2-hour intensive sessions. And I can't wait for this, because the way that and I'm only taking 3 people right now. The way that I look at these 2-hour intensives, it's called Rebrand. And the reason it's called Rebrand is because it's legit. Like, if you need something right now, like you're going for an interview next week and you need to brush up on your interview skills and you need to get your outer appearance together and your quick inner appearance together, your inner confidence together, that is what this 2 hours is for. It's intense. We, do everything that you truly desire, whether it is internal, external clearings, whatever it is that you are looking for. 2-hour intensive, and that is $888. So if I take payment plans as well within reason, just message me and I can, we can talk about the details. But those are the things that I have going on right now. Other than that, it was a fabulous evening, and I hope you all enjoyed that energy clearing, and I hope you all enjoyed the subject matter at hand. We can do this. We don't need all of this dead weight and all of this stagnant energy keeping us back. So I hope you all have a fabulous evening, and I will see you sometime, but definitely next Wednesday here, After Dark Talk Radio, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's pretty much it. So I hope you all have a very good night. Let me play my music. Bye.